Hello, my little tiddlywinks, and welcome back to Prison Architect. So, we've gotten quite a bit done already on our little playthrough. We've got our reception going, we've got parole up and going, we've got some visitation. We're doing pretty good. We've got laundry up, we've got the kitchen, the canteen, we even have a classroom ready. So hopefully eventually some prisoners are going to start passing those courses so we can get this done and over with. But the one thing we don't have a lot of yet is money. Probably one of our biggest downfalls right now is we don't have much money. So what I'm probably going to try and do is use the remaining bit we have to try and fill out just a little bit more of our prison so that we have more room to start putting more prisoners so we can get this daily value of 1,600 up as much as possible, as well as giving us the chance to get prisoners due for release, because you make quite a bit that way. So I'm going to try and do that for a little bit, make us some new cells, see if we can try and earn a little bit of cash, see what happens, and then I'll come back once we have some time to actually do that. Alright, I'll BRB. Welcome back. So I've done a little expanding. I've added a few more of these places. We're going to be working on a workshop here shortly. And I also, over here, added in another parole, because we are getting a decent number. Oh man, we just had a death. I don't know what quite happened. That's not good. Get in here and figure out what happened. Okay. I don't know where the death exactly happened, but somebody died. And don't really know what happened, so... Mila Dillon, age 43, sentenced to 8 years for shoplifting. She was killed. Not sure why or by who. Interesting, and nobody got sent to solitary for killing someone. Not sure what happened. Rest in peace there, Mila, however you pronounce the name. I love how they just, like, disappear from the morgue, though. You know, zombies and all that. Like I was saying, we added another parole office here, because we were getting, like, 3 or 4 people that were getting ready for release, so I went ahead and added an extra one just to help with that. But you can see we're still struggling with the money. I mean, we're up now to like 3,500, which is great. That means we're making some decent money, and if we're getting, you know, 2 or 3 people a day getting released, that means that we're getting another 6 grand right there, which is fantastic. But what we really want to do is keep expanding. Something that we definitely want to work on is this workshop, because we want to start getting this through. Produce 30 license plates, we'll get 10 grand. It'll be really useful for us. But the pieces for that saw in the press are really expensive, so we need at least 3 grand to get them, because they're 1.5 grand each. So we'll get there eventually. But something that I wanted to show you guys is this intelligence. You can see here that there is a large supply of all sorts of bad things, especially like tools, narcotics, weapons. It's not a good thing. And with that, you can also see where all this is coming from. So in this room, these things just naturally like spawn, and your prisoners can pick them up. Things like, especially these tools, they will use those to escape. Things like, you know, forks, knives, spoons. And they can get other things like luxuries, things like cigarettes, lighters, booze, stuff like that. But they can get stuff like poison, they can get stuff like clubs, all sorts of just from different rooms. But you can see that the demand is pretty high for some of these things, but the supply is pretty big. So what we want to make sure that we do every so often is use this cute little button right here. So this will order an immediate search of all possible locations where they can hide these things. So our guards, we went down to 0. There are none available because they're out doing things now. Once that fills up, this will stop. But for now, we are searching all the jail cells. We're going to look in all the places we can. Hopefully we'll find everything. It'd be nice. But you can see we're already finding things like scissors, saws, and lighters in places that they should not have those things. So we're gonna get some cash here in a second, because 3 new prisoners are coming in, which is handy. But you can see we have to start watching out for this kind of stuff, because they've got a whole bunch of different bad things in there. And I'd rather see nothing show up, but it's never gonna happen, especially if you're gonna have things like workshops and stuff like that. It's good to have them. It means you can help them out in their life and all that stuff, but at the same time, it really makes it more difficult. Now, while that's all happening, we have this workshop we want to finish, or get up and operational. We won't be able to do much with it because we don't have much money, but we do have enough to get at least a set of everything. So like you know, things that are in that room pop up. So we need a table. I guess we'll put one here. And we will also need to put in a saw and a press. So I'm going to put one of those there, and I'll put a press right next to it. Now you can see we don't have enough money for any more of them, but what we will have to do... Ooh, they found a whole bunch of stuff, and people are not happy. As you can see here, we've got 3 in solitary with 4 waiting. Now we have 3 cells. You know, like this guy is not... Now, I kind of find it weird that there are no, like, woman pictures. It's all just guys. Just, I don't know, sexist, I suppose, but needless to say. So yeah, these jerks were found with bad stuff, so, you know, Julia here got, I think, like an hour or 2. Nothing terrible, so won't be a big problem. But you can see, we got some pretty unhappy people. Really, probably right now, if we look at their needs, family's going to be the biggest thing. But thankfully, as they're out here, they can go talk on the phone. What we might end up doing is adding a few more phones just to help it out. But otherwise, it'd be kind of hard to get them time. I mean, out here's okay. We could probably put some in like the common room, maybe. That might be worth doing, just so that they have another location that if, you know, during free time they want to go talk on the phone, they can. So we'll go ahead and throw 3 in there. That'll give enough so that they have a little bit more, you know, space to talk. Now, I need to run electricity to those. That's kind of like a big deal. So you need to make sure they connect everything underneath. So we just have to run this here, and we got enough for that, and boom. Once those are up and running, we will have a functioning workshop, which is good, because we want them to produce those license plates. Every day when they make those, we can sell them, and we'll make some decent money off of that. But you will have to go into your programs and start up a workshop safety. Now, thankfully, there's already 8 of them interested, so we'll be able to get that going in no time. Now, we could look down through here and see if there's anything. Like, there's one more person that's in the queue to do the pharmacology, or pharmacological. Try and say that 10 times fast. Go! If you did it, hit the like button. Leave a comment. Say how cool you are. But you can see, like, other things like this, we only have 1 person interested now. That's not very great. Hopefully at some point they will, you know, more people, the people that they're actually being taught right now. So we got our little teacher here. We got a decent number of prisoners actually in there learning. Good to see the moms in there learning, trying to help her life a little. These guys are learning from the foreman. He's teaching them, you know, how to do this stuff. It'll be good. It's nice to have those programs, but remember, the more programs you add, this daily cash flow will go down, because it costs money to pay people to go and do that extra job. So all this is going pretty well, I think. I mean, we've got a couple visitors, we got a prisoner for release, we've been pushing some of these guys through. It's really good. We're doing decent. Now, the other thing that I've been considering doing is trying to start making some dorm rooms. It's one of the types of cells that you can make. So you got the holding cell, which you can throw a bunch of people in, but it's not a good place to put them. There's the dormitory. They're good to make because you really technically only need it to be indoors, have a bed or bunk beds, toilet. You can make these pretty big and put a lot of people in them. And that can be pretty nice because you can save a lot of money that way. Like, technically we could save a lot of money by not making each cell have their own shower. We could make a centralized shower room and make them all come to that one place. But quite often, this is where some the bad dealings go on, and it can increase the rates of death. So I've kind of not gone that path and stuck with just going with showers in the rooms, but something like the dormitory, we could fit 12 people in there and only need like 3 showers. So that could be an option. But we might end up doing that in maybe the next video. So I'd rather try and spend as much of my money expanding this room as we can, so that we get prisoners in there working as soon as we can, because this will be a really good source of revenue. Plus, we want to pass this 30 license plates. We won't be able to pass these for a while. It takes quite some time for the prisoners to pass, and then one of those prisoners has to stay in the prison long enough for them to also go through the general education course and pass that as well. So it's a little tough. These 2 things, I would love to get them done sooner rather than later, but they're pretty expensive to be able to get these guys in there, and they cost quite a bit of your daily cash flow, so I'm kind of avoiding it right now. At some point, I will go ahead and get those up there, but like I said, right now, I'd rather see this up to like 5,000, maybe more, and start seeing this getting, you know, bigger and bigger, instead of us just kind of struggling to get by. I mean, we're getting okay money, but I'd rather see us get a lot more so that we can have a lot more freedom. Anywho, I will try and continue to expand. I'm probably going to make some more of these prison cells and expand them down this way, because we have a lot of room. We have only done this little corner. I don't even think we've done a whole quarter of this stage. And what's crazy is you can go on and buy the land around this later on. If you go in here and go through and get the, not the extra grant. Oh, we did get the land expansion. That's what we want. But we're not going to bother with that right now, because we haven't even filled this yet. It'd be nice to, you know, get this with as many cells as we can. Maybe put some dormitories right in the middle. The biggest downfall to dormitories, although they might save you money, they also increase the rate at which people can escape. Because you now, like in one of these cells, you know, Stella here, she can hide some objects. She could maybe go in here and work in here for a while and pick up a drill and hide it in here, and then she'll have to drill out to get to the outside on her own, and that takes quite a while. But if you have a dorm with, you know, 3 or 4 prisoners even, that's 3 times faster that they can pick up objects from these rooms and break a hole through and get out. And I think before we get to dormitories, I'd rather build this perimeter wall all the way around. We don't have a perimeter wall, which, for minimum security prison, is probably okay. I'm not super scared about the fact that, you know, they could get out right now, especially like these guys. This person right here, if they dig under their toilet and literally go 2 blocks, they're free. And they can make a run for it. So Redmond, you know, Maya Redmond, thank you for not escaping here. I'm pretty happy about that. Please don't make a run for it, but we'll see what happens. Probably gonna get a little bit more work done, expand a few of these, and then I will be right back. Welcome back again. So I didn't get very far. I got a little bit of work done. I, you know, started a room here, added another saw, had to upgrade the electricity because it was running almost at the tippy top, which is pretty costly to do. But we also just got through 7 prisoners, so we're almost finished with that. 10 prisoners getting through. I'm quite surprised about that. And there are 3 interested in this general education. But the problem is, we only have 1 classroom. All the rooms are booked. Now, I have tried doing things like having 2 classrooms, but if they're running at the same time, there isn't 2 people to teach. Because as you can see, somewhere, it's led by a teacher in a classroom, and they're supposed to be hired from, like, outside, but let's just say it doesn't always work right. I don't know if it's a glitch in the game or what's going on. But what we can do is we can alter our schedule so that there's an additional time frame to do this. So this needs to have enough room. So these can do what, 20 places? This says there's only 10 places with 20 sessions. So this is going to take quite a while, but I believe it only needs 3 hours to do. Yeah, session length 3 hours. So we need another block of 3 hours, similar to the 2 to 5 block. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this around. So that 2 to 5 block is that work schedule. So what we're going to do is shift everything. Right now we're at sleep, so that'll be good. So we're going to get rid of that lockup. We're going to allow them to go right outside and eat. And then go play in the yard for 2 hours. And then we're going to put them right to work right after that. So we want 3 hours there, and we want to give them some free time. If you don't give them free time, they will go crazy. They will get upset, they'll attack, etc. So we'll put the eat there, and we'll have them work again late at night. So now we have 2 work sessions. There's not much lockup though. That's the big difference here. But because we're dealing with most of minimum security, I don't think this will make a big problem for us. If it was normal security or high security risk, that would be a different story. So under our programs, what we want to do is hit this reschedule all programs, and that'll reset everything. So now we will have the general education course running from 7 to 10, the foundation education course running from 12 to 3. The best way to get them to pass some of these is to make sure that their needs are dealt with. So like right now, the hygiene's ridiculously high. That's because they're all asleep. There's nothing you can do about it. That's why I usually put the shower right in the morning. But things like family, bladder, bowels, all that, the food is going to be a big one. So doing it before they're super sleepy and all that will be best. So thankfully they will have food, they'll have their free time, so they'll be able to go pee, take a shower if they need to, then they can eat, and then come here. So the only big thing that they might have a problem with is family going in here. I have added more phone booths, quite a few actually, because they've been complaining quite a bit about that, the need for family. And you could see that almost, 40, 50 prisoners are starting to get high demand for family, and it's very surprising. In the guys' prison, this doesn't go up that fast. This is actually pretty big. So thankfully, as you can see, when they're waking up in the morning, they're going to shower first, they're going to go eat, and then they go to the yard. So this will deal with all the food, this will deal with their hygiene and all that, and then they go outside and deal with their exercise and family, and then they go to work. So this should be good. I think we're going to do okay for now. I'm going to keep playing a little bit longer. I'm going to try and expand at least down to here, and then maybe a little bit more. I'll maybe take some time, try and add some more stuff to the workshop, get more prisoners going. We're going to have 50 soon, which is really good, because then if we can pass one of these, we will be able to grab another one, another grant. That one of them, sub-block B, raise your prisoner capacity to 50. Once we get that, we'll get, 30 grand for just doing it. And since we'll probably, by the time that we actually can get this, we will have 50 inmates, so we will instantly just get all that money. Something else that might be easy to do is do this crackdown on drugs. Basically, you just have to do the shakedown a couple times. Same with the tool cleanup, at least that's how I've seen it happen. Not 100% sure, but we'll see. The inmate nutrition's kind of an easy one to do. You mess with their food. So if you go into policy, you can see that right now we're spending $12 per prisoner. So right now we're spending that much, $516 per day. We have 2 meals. But we're doing medium quality with medium variety. If you bump these up, it becomes much more expensive. So if you want to save money, you don't want to spend that $500 a day, drop these down to low, and your prisoners won't be too happy. They won't be too healthy either, so just watch out for that. But anyway, I'm gonna even bump this down just a little bit more. I want to make sure that my prisoners are never coming back here. I think at this point we can actually look at our prison grading. We have released 14 prisoners, which is great. So far, nobody has reoffended, which is really good. The downfall is we had one death in custody. No idea what happened. It could have been... I don't know, maybe she died of old age. I don't know exactly what happened. We'll have to... If you guys know, leave me a comment, let me know what happened. But you can see, we're doing pretty good. I mean, punishment's up to 8, reforms at 3. I would rather see this go up. Security's doing well, and health is down. I've always had a lot of problems getting health up. I think I've only ever gotten it maybe to 1 or 2. So if you guys have any tips on that, let me know. I don't pretend to be an expert on this game at all. So if you guys have tips, tricks, etc. that you want to pass on, let me know. I'll definitely give you a shout out in my video, pass along the information to the rest of my viewers. Anyway, I will be right back. I'm going to try to get some more work done down here, and then we'll come back just to show you the finished results, and then that'll be it for the day. Alright, I'll BRB, guys. And welcome back for a final time. While you were gone, these guys actually went and produced a whole bunch of license plates. And that means we completed our 1 grant. We got a whole bunch of money, which meant I added a whole bunch more cells, which now puts our capacity up to 57. So, because we have room, we can go right into the grants. And we already completed that. That's another 30 grand, and we have money. Hooray! Now what we could continue to do is stick with sale box C, and, you know, look for 30 grand to basically double our entire capacity. Not too bad, but we can switch over to some of these other ones for now. Probably not going to do the Carpentry Apprentice program. That one can take a while sometimes. But maybe what we'll do is one of these. Do the crackdown on drugs. Okay. Apparently we also completed that one. So there's 15 grand. Again, that's usually from doing shakedowns. So as the guards go around and check everything, they see, you know, some of the prisoners might have narcotics and whatnot, and they'll take that from them, lock them into solitude or solitary for a while. But looks like we already completed that. We got enough of those. So we can also try tool cleanup. Okay, so we haven't gotten all the supply of stolen tools. So we will have to do that in the stolen weapons. So we'll probably do that in the next episode. More than likely, all we'll have to do is just hit shakedown 1 or 2 times. Hopefully these little guys are gonna go finish these 2 rooms off, I think. Huh. That's really weird. These were all finished. I don't know why they didn't. That's really weird. Alright, so that should fix the problem. Maybe because I put the wall in between and that ticked them off, or I don't know, something. Must be that's what happened. I don't know. These little workers are kind of silly, but good! You're doing fantastic! I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We actually got through quite a bit. We passed some of the grants. I'd like to see this one get finished off. The next episode, we are definitely going to go ahead and get this governmental security done. We've got 50 grand now. We are making 6.5 grand a day. We're doing fantastic. So it won't be long before we are expanding super fast and we'll have too much money. Oh snap. Oh snap. Warden's calling us, telling us that subsidence of the land has destroyed a section of the outer wall. Thankfully it's just this one. Not a big deal. If this were to have happened over here somewhere, that could have been really bad. Because if this, like, say maybe like this part of the wall broke open, all the prisoners could run out there and escape. But because this one's basically behind doors, we're okay. So what we will quickly just do is go ahead and go back and, well, just do that and that'll fix the problem. So, in this room, they won't escape from this room usually. They're still locked up in shackles, they won't run for it. So we're okay. I'd rather have this room up and going, but That's why I like having these double doors like this anyway, because usually there's at least one of these is closed at all times, which means the prisoners in here can't just walk out. So I have actually watched in some of the prisons I've made, where if there was just one door here, once in a while a prisoner will just walk up to this, so one of the guards will open it for, say, maybe like the cooks, he'll just walk right on out, and he's gone. And then you have escaped prisoners, and it looks badly on your prison. So I'm glad that it was only a small bit of damage, thankfully. So like I said, in the next video we're going to do this, the government security rating. We're also going to go ahead and build ourselves a religious center, because one of their big needs that they're starting to show is, or at least a little bit now, is spirituality. I'd like to get that undergoing, because if you actually look at programs, you come down here, we've got 19 people looking to get through that spiritual guidance, so that'll be a really big help, so we definitely want to get that pretty soon. So like I said, in the next video, that's what we will do. But in the meantime, hope you guys have a wonderful day, and remember, stay in trouble.